Dr. John Giannini. Well, these two met, 11 days ago, Coach? And, it coincides with what's a 3-game win streak for St. Joseph's. The question for LaSalle, coming in having lost 5 of 6, how do you slow down St. Joseph's?
Well, to slow down St. Joseph, you have to slow down Ryan Daly. They saw Ryan Daly get 30 points against them last time, will the Hawks to a win. So today they have the Daly rules. Deny Daly all over the court, don't let him get the ball, force him to drive left, attack him with extra defenders, and rotate fresh guys to guard him throughout the game.
Top of the bracket as St. Bonaventure, St. Louis, Davidson at VCU, all with the double byes. And, of course, George Washington at Fordham, our second matchup. Winner of that one gets George Mason. Winner of this matchup this afternoon will get the 5-seed UMass for what's a 1 o'clock start tomorrow. Jamie Luckey, Jerry Heater, Tim Comer, our officiating crew today. St. Joseph's in the black, LaSalle the gold. Jared Kimbrough and Taylor Funk at the center jump circle. And we're underway. The 2021 Atlantic 10 Men's Basketball Tournament, almost a year removed from the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. Happy to be here and to be in a gym and watching hoops. Man-to-man for St. Joseph's to start. 9-point overtime victory the last time these two met, as Spencer Short with that little floater, and here comes Ryan Daly for St. Joseph's. And gets the quick pull. Kimbrough quickly with the rebound for the Explorers.
These teams already playing at a pretty quick tempo. Quick shots the first 3 possessions. That's why in the last 2 matchups, the winner had to get to the 90s. I expect a close game and a high-scoring game, which means fun.
Funk with the up fake. A minute in, 91-82, 11 days ago in overtime for St. Joe's. Funk gets the second look and drills it.
St. Joe's has been doing a great job screening for Funk. That was a simple down screen. LaSalle should not have been surprised, but that pump fake and side dribble, that's the new thing the last several years for 3-point shooters. Don't pump fake and drive. Side dribble, get your 3.
40th made 3 of the year for Taylor Funk. And that ball goes out of bounds off of Jared Kimbrough, and LaSalle with the quick turnover.
And that was an important play. LaSalle has had big games inside against St. Joe's. Kimbrough, a double-double last time, 24 points in the first meeting. So the best way to not let Kimbrough score, don't let him get the ball. And Funk has changed his body this year. He's a better defender, better all-around player. He won that first battle inside against Kimbrough.
Just saw Ashley Howard in his 3rd season over in Olney. Billy Lang on the St. Joseph's bench as Hall having trouble corralling that basketball, couldn't touch it, now finally gets it back, and happy feet for Funk. And quickly turnover for the Hawks. Now obviously familiarity not a problem in this rivalry. Meeting number 121 between these two, but they're only their 6th all-time in the Atlantic 10 tournament, where St. Joseph's with a 4-1 advantage. Last LaSalle win in the series in postseason play, 1999.
That was a critical play right there. When Brickus drove, no one helped. They want to make Brickus into a scorer, not a passer. They think they have a size advantage and make it hard for him to score against St. Joe's bigger guards.
Yeah, really effective was Jameer Brickus the last time these two met, as Kimbrough gets his ball stripped out of bounds with 4 on the shot clock.
So I think it's a pretty safe bet that the 2 point guards in this game are going to be all rookie team members with Brickus and Hall, and these guys are going to be great rivals through the next 3 years, hopefully, in the A10.
Catch and curl for Spencer, who's back for just the 3rd game and looks pretty good.
So Coach Howard's happy because he has his team back. Spencer was out for a while, and Clark and Moore missed the last couple games. LaSalle's healthier, and Spencer is one of the best 3-point shooters in the A10, shooting over 50 on threes in league play.
It comes in their 4th best shooter overall, as Brown off the crossover matches with a 3 of his own.
Can't play much better defense than that. Kimbrough was all over him. That was a tough 3. And both these teams love the 3, by the way. That's part of these high-scoring games that these two have played against each other. But for LaSalle, they've had more success when they score inside against the Hawks.
Clark goes long in the mid-range, but Spencer hitting the offensive glass. Second chance for Brickus. Nice find for Kimbrough, who got stripped, and a foul on Jordan Hall. A 3-point lead for the Hawks early on. What are your keys, G, for both sides here?
Well, LaSalle, it starts with the daily rules that we've already talked about. Secondly, they already violated one of the rules against Taylor Funk. You got to chase Taylor Funk around screens. You got to stay attached, not help off of them, and try to make Hall, who is one of the best assist givers in the country, into a scorer. Both teams want to turn the passing, scoring point guards into one-dimensional players. Just make them scores. Don't let them find all their teammates.
What about for the Hawks?
Well, the Hawks have to do what they did on that one play against Kimbrough. Don't get beat up inside. Kimbrough's had big games. Christian Ray had 18 and 11 against them. The Hawks have to be physical in terms of post defense and rebounding.
And Brickus and Ray right at the forefront of our St. Joseph's keys. Big offensive rebounder, Christian Ray. Shot clock cut in half for Ryan Daly and the Hawks. Daly one-on-one with Clark. Now down to 5. Got him up in the air. Moore in rhythm and buries it.
Hawks making tough threes, but they play with confidence. They hunt threes. So far, knocking them down.
One of 5 double-figure scorers the other night. Every starter for Billy Lang's guys. He had 10 in the upset win over Richmond.
Great front and weak side help so far. St. Joe's keeping the ball out of the post.
Hall attacking, layup on the way, good, plus the foul on Clark.
Hall is an enormously special player, a 6'7" point guard. We have the 2 best freshman point guards in the league here today, but opposite ends of the size spectrum. Hall at 6'7", obviously going to be a great finisher and has unique ball handling and passing skills for his size. How about this? Hall leads all freshmen in America in assists, almost 6 points a game. So Coach Lang has pretty much given him the ball, the keys to the car, so to speak, and I think he gave him to the right driver.
Yeah, certainly did there. 6-0 St. Joseph's run in the last 30 seconds. 8-point Hawk lead. Sharif Kenny, who's inside of 2 hours from his native Washington, D.C. into the game for LaSalle. Here's David Beatty, the South Carolina transfer and Philly native.
And that was a tough shot. That was good defense by Hall. He didn't let Beatty drive, got a hand up on the shot. So far, both teams have made some difficult shots.
David Beatty ready to accept both the physical and mental challenge after what was a tough last regular season game against George Mason. Ended up with a couple technicals and ejected. Ashley Howard told me on the phone he'll be more focused today. But called for steps here. Now out of the gate, almost 70% shooting for St. Joseph's and a 6-point lead.
You can tell this is really crispy, juicy, and tender because we wouldn't take the time to butter all these potato buns if it wasn't worth it. Introducing
For attractive offers on the ultra-responsive Acura TLX, visit your Acura dealer today.
All Ivy, Player of the Year, first-round draft pick. No matter my achievement, I question if I deserve it. It's a battle with an invisible opponent, imposter syndrome. But I found a way to conquer it. I watch film, not of my mistakes, but of what I'm doing right. Each clip reminding me that there's no imposter here. Train what's under the armor.
You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
You remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
12th seed LaSalle down by 6 here to open up the 2021 Atlantic 10 tournament. Matt Martucci, Dr. John Giannini. Just getting started. What's game 1 of 2? What do these next few minutes mean for LaSalle just in terms of this start, G?
Yeah, we talked about it over the break, Matt, and LaSalle has had huge wins at Dayton, at Richmond, against St. Louis, and beat a very physical Duquesne game. They're very much a confidence-driven team. So sometimes, like their 2 George Mason matchups, if they fall behind early and lose some of that confidence, that's psychologically important for LaSalle. So LaSalle is a deep team. They have a lot of scores. Ray and Kimbrough are active inside, but it's also a young team, and they've had some tough losses. So confidence, the mental part of this is going to be really important for LaSalle here to string together some good possessions and chip away at this lead.
3 early Explorer turnovers. And St. Joseph's has opened up almost 70% from the field, 4 of its first 6. Hall right over the top of Ray. A couple guys that did battle in high school as well. Beatty with the kick out. And Ray with a great look, but one and done go the Explorers. Rise up for Daly and too much off the dribble drive. Ray, one of the best rebounders on this LaSalle team with almost 6 a game, able to corral that.
Ray is such a good rebounder. St. Joe's has a special rule for him today. If you're guarding Ray and a shot's taken, your job is not to get the rebound, but to make sure Ray does not get it. Be physical with him. Ray had 11 rebounds, 18 and 11 last time, so St. Joe's is adjusting.
Kimbrough showing the range.
That was a dare shot right there. I've seen Kimbrough play in high school. I know he can make that shot, but St. Joe's would rather have him take that than go inside, where he shot 11, actually 12 for 13 against them in the LaSalle win. So they'd rather see Kimbrough take that shot.
Yeah, ended up with 24 on Martin Luther King Day. What was a LaSalle win? Explorers probably more dominant in that one than the box score actually showed. One and done go the Hawks. And Brickus with a miscommunication out of bounds. 4th LaSalle turnover.
LaSalle's defense has been effective, though. The fast break drive against Hall and the 3 by Funk are things that should not happen very often according to their game plan and fundamentals. But these other shots that St. Joe's has either made or missed have been with a hand in the face. So far, the laws of averages starting to catch up and help LaSalle a little bit, forcing St. Joe's into contested shots.
Over 2-minute scoring drought as you talk about the law of averages. Hawks are 0 of their last 4. Substitutions on both sides. Anwar Gill, who's another Washington, D.C. native, along with Sharif Kenny, into the game for LaSalle.
Sophomores are critical for LaSalle. Kenny is really the barometer of this team. So they have 7 players averaging between 10 and 7. You think, who's going to take the next step? Kenny is a guy that has the physical tools to take that next step to be one of the best players in the league. And he likes to play defense, too, as you see him harassing Jordan Hall. Into a turnover. Kenny on call, coming through as I praise his defense.
That's the first time you and I have done a game all year together, but I feel like that's happened a bunch over the years.
Yeah, it's fun.
You ask for something and you're rewarded.
And of course, I know these teams well. I know their coaches, and I'm definitely not biased today because I love them both.
Little high-low. Ray got his shot thrown out, but Kimbrough sticking with the play. Shot clock down to 10. Spencer, that's way too open for him, and drills it.
Spencer, that's like a layup for him. 50% plus on threes in league.
7-0 LaSalle run in the last 2.5 minutes. Hawks scoring drought almost 3. Demir Bishop newly into the game, trying to quell that and draws contact. A free throw line trip coming.
So that last possession was most of what LaSalle wanted. They forced Daly left, and they helped on him as soon as he drove. They made Daly kick it out, become a passer, which is what they want. But then on that closeout against Bishop, you can't get driven. You know Bishop's a better driver than shooter, so a little bit of a scouting report breakdown that time for LaSalle. When you recover to Bishop, that's what you want. Keep him in front.
Demir Bishop, who had been a starter for most of the year, but coming off the bench the last couple games in favor of Ramir Moore. Billy Lang and his coaching staff would like him to be more drive first.
I love the Kimbrough Christian Ray combination inside. They're not that big in terms of height, but super active and athletic, terrific rebounders.
And need their guards to be able to crash the boards as Gill misses the floater. LaSalle coming into third to last in the league as far as rebounding.
They go Force and Daly left. Good job by Spencer on Daly.
Funk pops up and in range out near that championship logo.
He's becoming an all-around player by getting in great shape, but he's still a phenomenal shooter. Again, part of LaSalle's game plan, anyone who plays St. Joe, stay attached to Funk. You literally can't let him shoot the ball, have to make him dribble.
Fourth St. Joe's three. They've opened up 80% from the perimeter. Gill tries to match and does.
And that was a dare shot. Gill is a driver. Hall let him take the three. Gill obliged, shot it with confidence.
Yeah, only his 6th in what's 22 games this year for Anwar Gill. Back to a one-possession game. Brown. And good help D for Gill to alter the shot. And Hall staying with it and gets the layup.
So Brown matched up against Ray are two what I would call winners. Just glue guys, dependable players going head-to-head. That time Brown won the individual medal, but those two guys are flat out, as I said, winners, competitors, constant effort from those two.
8 minutes in, high energy first round game. As that skips off a Ray's shin and out of bounds. Turnover for LaSalle as the Explorers' 5th in what's a 5-point basketball game. It's the Atlantic 10 Tournament first round, and you're watching it on.
When we say crispy, juicy, tender, this is the juicy and tender. And this is the crispy. Introducing McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwiches. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
For attractive offers on the ultra-responsive Acura TLX, visit your Acura dealer today.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase, every day.
Objection! My credit card doesn't earn double miles on every purchase.
Overruled. With the Venture Card, it's every purchase. What's in your wallet?
All Ivy, Player of the Year, first-round draft pick. No matter my achievement, I question if I deserve it. It's a battle with an invisible opponent. Imposter syndrome. But I found a way to conquer it. I watch film. Not of my mistakes, but of what I'm doing right. Each clip reminding me that there's no imposter here. Train what's under the armor.
Look, show up.
That was
up, roll up.
Oh my goodness.
Roll up. We're supreme, see what I mean.
Day one of what's four in an opening week here at the Atlantic 10 Tournament 2021 edition. Well, death, taxes, and Mark Schmidt in the months of both February and March. St. Bonaventure locking up the top seed, Dr. John Giannini, and St. Louis, probably the best athletes in this league and looking like a dark horse, even though they've been a fringe top 25 team pretty much all year.
Yeah, St. Louis, a lot of people thought that they could be the best non-Power 5 team in the country, like last year's Dayton team, but the massive COVID pauses have dramatically affected them. But I'm going to quote Chuck Daly, who coached the Detroit Pistons to numerous NBA championships. He talked about the importance of health late in the year. The healthiest teams are St. Bonaventure and St. Louis, so I think our champion could come out of this bracket. The other teams that I think are at a high level, Richmond, VCU, well-coached, veteran team with Richmond, VCU, younger, but a terrific defensive team. But both those teams a little bit banged up. Davidson, obviously, always dangerous, and they're pretty healthy right now. But I think the champion's going to come out of that St. Bonaventure, St. Louis bracket.
But who is it? This is the only day you and I are here, so I have to put you on the spot.
I'm sorry, Coach Schmidt, but if I had to pick, I'd go with St. Louis.
Just too much physicality, right?
They're really deep and talented. They're the deepest, most talented team in the league. But like I said, they've just been on and off again for months at a time. Like a lot of teams, a super frustrating year for the Billikens. But if they get back to where they were in the non-conference, that's a Sweet 16 or better team.
Hall got caught up on the baseline with the shot clock down to 8. Daly still yet to score. Right on cue, gets the friendly bounce.
So they did everything right against Daly on that play. They forced him left. They didn't go to his fakes, but he has a pro fadeaway shot that's unblockable, and he makes. Try to shoot the ball while you're jumping away from the basket. Not easy. It's a pro shot. Daly has that down.
Ray catch and shoot at this end and able to drill the 3.
As a coach, you gotta love Christian Ray. Not only does he make shots like that, but he does so many things that help your team win. From boxing out, right there, calling out a switch, communicating, just a winner. But St. Joe's dared him to shoot that. They know he's not one of LaSalle's best shooters. So far, Gill and Ray making threes. That's something St. Joe's might not have expected.
Clark jumping the passing lane here, and cocks it back and makes this a 2-point game.
So other players who could emerge from this balanced LaSalle team to maybe become an all-conference type player, Jack Clark, 6'8" and skilled.
And happy to have him back after what was a groin issue.
There's the force left, but the no help. Oh my goodness, Coach Howard isn't going to like that on the videotape. The plan, and there were 2 defenders there, when Daly goes left, run multiple defenders at him. Make him into a passer, not a scorer.
4 straight St. Joe's points for Ryan Daly, who's averaged 25 a game career against LaSalle. That even goes back to his Delaware days. Ray doing what he does best, offensive glass, and Explorers back to within 2. That was a bullet to Bishop, who had to hang on. Daly, the body control, and nearly got the bounce. He'll head to the free throw line.
That time Clark helped out. They forced left. Just with Daly's physicality, he's good at drawing fouls. He is. So you look at the Daly effect. They're 0-9 without Daly, 3-0 with him. Daly, of course, averaging 23, no surprise. But he helps Taylor Funk. Taylor Funk averaging 26 with his buddy Daly back. Cam Brown upping his scoring average from 10 to 14 with Daly back. He transforms this team, and in the last week, he's been the best player in this league.
Yeah, I think it's a fair question to ask, what would St. Joe's look like if Ryan Daly is healthy after that Tennessee game, or even just healthy for some of conference play?
Well, you'd see more wins. You'd see more games like the last 3. And don't forget, Jack Forrest has been out too. So luck is a part of things. And it's Chuck Daly said, injuries is a part of things. And you know, it's just unfortunate, and I feel the A10's been robbed of seeing a healthy Daly this year.
Nice entry down low. Brick is finding Kimbrough, who has 5 early points.
Now these teams, the patterns, and there's the pushing the ball in transition, the pace of St. Joe's, but Daly starting to take over. LaSalle starting to score inside. That's the formula from the last couple games. That's not a great shot. Good defense by Spencer.
Bishop goes 1 and done long on the 3. Only the second miss from the perimeter for Billy Lang's team. Brick is so quick off the dribble, but telegraphed it, and Spencer on the sideline out of bounds.
The one thing both teams have done a pretty good job of is, again, when Brickus drives, they're not leaving shooters open. They want him to get into traffic and try to score against the bigger guards. That's worked so far for St. Joe's, besides that little dump off that he just got to Kimbrough.
Jadrian Tracy into the basketball game for St. Joe's, freshman from Fort Myers, Florida. And like 3 other Hawks, donning a headband today. Bishop and Moore, Brown and Tracy all wearing them. Daly had the slow start, but now 6 points since. Little pick and roll, long play, everything but the finish, but staying with the play to keep it alive. The look for Bishop, and way long. And Ray having to track that down. That's a heads-up play.
Did I say winner? That was like a play of the day. The save was spectacular. Throwing it off a St. Joe's player, even better. Again, won't show up in a stat sheet. Just one of the countless things Ray does to help a team win. But it looks like Longpre's hurt.
Had missed some time, dealt with what was a lower body issue. It doesn't look to be the case. Clutching his one hand. So Taylor Funk back in for his roommate Longpre. Beatty and Kimbrough, Ray, Anwar Gill, and Jameer Brickus for LaSalle. Demir Bishop, Ramir Moore, Ryan Daly, Taylor Funk, and Jadrian Tracy for St. Joe's. Gill got caught up with what's 10 to shoot. Now Brickus, look at that breakdown. And able to set up Gill for a second time, but couldn't get it to stick. Shot clock back to 20. Ray doesn't need it. He's going to the line. And what else would you expect? A couple of Philly schools in the first round. Plenty of energy, not lacking here in Richmond. Hawks by 2.
Raise high. This isn't just our battle cry, it's our call, our challenge. Because when you were called to Washington, you were called to higher expectations, to a higher standard. We are called here to advance knowledge, to serve society, to change the world. This is the George Washington University, and what we make is history. So stand up, be bold, take risks, press on, push harder, raise high.
It's a persistence that never fades. It's a restlessness to care for others, to do more, to set the example by being it, to question assumptions, uncover doubt, and erase any hesitation to act. The question isn't what you want to be, it's who. That's why we choose Fordham.
This is more than a game. This is athletic excellence meets academic discipline. With every second on the court, bodies are moving and minds are working, solving problems, setting records, developing skills for basketball and beyond. This is dedication. This is strength. This is the Atlantic 10.
Now St. Joe's up by 2. So far has led this entire first half, but plenty of resilience from Ashley Howard and the LaSalle Explorers, who have opened up 53% from the field, and just seems like they keep coming, Dr. John Giannini.
No, LaSalle believes they could score inside against St. Joe's. They did it each, especially in the first game. And right now, Kimbrough and Christian Ray, I mean, between the two of them now, they already have 10 points and 9, both of them on track for a double-double. So the tenacity and, inside grit of Kimbrough and Ray are so far keeping LaSalle in this game.
Christian Ray to the free throw line. Probably the one area of his game where Ashley Howard would like to see him hone in a little more.
It's stunning he shoots in the 50s. For the work ethic he has from the free throw line, you would expect him to be a 70-80% guy. I wouldn't be surprised if a year from now he's doing that.
Well, it was his freshman year, was at about 74%. Ashley Howard says, I think it's just in his head.
Sometimes guys try too hard, especially a high-effort guy like Christian Ray.
Brings them to within one. Bishop on the bounce. Trying to shed Kimbrough, just played good D and caused the turnover.
So Kimbrough does so many good things. He can switch. At 6'7", 6'8", he can literally guard every position on the floor. You could switch ball screens with him, and there you saw him stay with Bishop and prevent Bishop from driving and creating a turnover.
LaSalle with the chance to take its first lead of the basketball game.
Single coverage, that means you score.
And Kimbrough, everything but the finish on the jump hook, halfway down, didn't stick.
But a few years ago, you could kind of muscle Funk inside. You can't do that now. He's really developed his body.
Yeah, credit St. Joseph's strength and conditioning coach Eric Lang for some of that.
Forcing left. We'll see it. Here. Lets him go right, but there's the extra defenders.
And Daly forced into another miss.
You got to make it tough on him. If he's shooting fadeaways, you're doing all you can.
Brickus trying to break down Moore.
Moore's defense has been terrific on Brickus. He's denying him. He's guarding him. Look at him face guarding Brickus. He's not leaving Brickus. That's the respect St. Joe's has for him.
Perfect position on the block, the drop step for Kimbrough, and then using the rim on the reverse.
I love Coach Howard continuing to feed Kimbrough. Even if he misses a shot, that's not a big deal. He shoots a high percentage. Keep going to him. The odds are in your favor.
LaSalle with its first lead of the basketball game. Another 3-minute scoring drought for St. Joe's.
Mismatch with Brickus now. They wisely double team. They help Brickus out.
Funk recognizing the double, and Bishop sniping.
That was terrific defense by LaSalle. They defend the double team, get him in trouble. Bishop, not a high percentage shooter, makes a shot with a hand in his face. If LaSalle keeps defending like that, they'll be all right.
4 different Hawks have now made it 3. Funk, Brown, along with Bishop and Moore. Ray trying to match again, gets a good look, but it dies on the front of the rim.
St. Joe's is helping off Ray. Even though he made that shot, they're going to continue to help off him. He made one of those threes earlier, but he's missed 2. They're going to keep challenging him on that.
Bounce game for Funk, and look at the body control on the baseline.
When Funk came to St. Joe's, he was a three-point shooter and a three-point shooter only. Now he's a driver, he's a cutter, he's a rebounder, he runs the floor. Funk, one of the better players in the Atlantic 10.
36 against Dayton, what was a couple games ago, 22 the other night in the upset over Richmond.
36 against Dayton's incredible. And 97 points as a team. It's the Daly effect, and the whole roster is playing better the last 3 games.
And here's Funk with another look, but long off the left side. Brick is still yet to get going. And turns it over for the 3rd time here in his first Atlantic 10 tournament game.
Ramir Moore has had a lot to do with that.
You've coached freshmen in these spots. You know, you've coached in a first-round game before. How does it usually go?
You know, these freshmen now are beyond the freshman status. Hall and Brickus at this point, I mean, they've played more minutes this year than a lot of kids who are juniors and seniors, so they're ready to go.
I guess my question is, though, do you squeeze it a little more, you know, in your first year, but because you're, you know, it's an Atlantic 10 tournament game?
Because of their positions, point guards have to have poise. You see these guys' body language. They're poise, confidence guys, maybe shooters, maybe big guys, but these 2 guys, Hall and Brickus, they are good, not only because of their physical abilities, but because of their poise.
Hall, what a find. Daly in traffic right over Kenny. 8 first-half points for Ryan Daly.
Not many player comparisons for Hall. Maybe the A10 version of a Magic Johnson, maybe Kyle Anderson, a point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies. Not many point guards that size. He's a unique player. Look at them face guarding Brickus on the weak side. That's Moore got that basket because there was no help. And there's no help because Moore won't leave Brickus. But when you don't help, now you could lob it, get it inside. But St. Joe's is that focused on stopping Brickus.
First 2 for Clifton Moore, the north of the city of Philadelphia native from Ambler, PA.
There's the denial, making it hard for Daly work just to get it.
And attacking, challenging Moore, who won that battle.
That's the vision for Moore, to be a rim protector.
And Spencer lost it out of bounds. 8th LaSalle turnover. And Explorers had a brief lead. St. Joe's back up by 4 here in Richmond. The Atlantic 10 Tournament first round on ESPN+.
You can tell this is really crispy, juicy, and tender because we wouldn't take the time to butter all these potato buns if it wasn't worth it. Introducing McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwiches. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
For attractive offers on the ultra-responsive Acura TLX, visit your Acura dealer today.
SoFi literally changed my life. When I refinanced with SoFi, that allowed me to pay off aggressively and save without breaking my back or breaking the bank.
Exploration. It's in our DNA. And there are new worlds to explore.
Verizon believes everyone deserves the best. That's why we start with 5G from America's most reliable network.
Verizon 5G is next level.
Then give families plans to mix and match, so you only pay for what you need starting at $35.
You get so much more than this, a great network.
And offer the best in entertainment on select unlimited plans, like Disney+, Hulu, and ESPN+, as well as Discovery+, with a Galaxy S21 Plus 5G when you buy one. There's no reason to settle for less than the best. Only from Verizon.
Four-point lead for the 13th seed St. Joe's here in our Atlantic 10 Tournament first round on LaSalle. Matt Martucci, Dr. John Giannini. Robust level of energy for both of these teams. They've come out strong, and you know, sometimes you look at a first round and you wonder what motivation is like for both sides. Do you want to keep playing, you know, because you're one of the bottom couple seeds? That's not a question today.
No, these are proud programs. LaSalle is very young, and the older players for St. Joe's, Daly is a senior. I mean, Daly's such a competitor. He's not going to allow any slippage in effort. But both these coaches are so young in their tenures that they see every game as a growth opportunity. They want to see progress. So not only do they want to win, they're also focused on themselves, evaluating themselves, and like I said, just first 2 years in for Coach Lang, third year for Coach Howard, they're just scratching the surface.
And not a coaching matchup that either of them particularly prefer here in the opening round of the tournament. Two good friends as Moore misses, but they're able to get the tap.
We talked about it. St. Joe's has to rebound and play post defense, and LaSalle is sticking with that game plan, and it's being effective.
Scott Spencer with a great start. 8 early points for the Explorers. Finished with 10 in the blowout against George Mason. St. Joe's goes one and done.
Well, remember, Spencer hasn't been healthy. He missed a handful of games. It's just his third game back from a bone bruise. And LaSalle imposing physicality on the Hawks. They're posting, they're dribble posting, they're crashing the boards. They're trying to make this more into a fist fight than a skillful ballet, so to speak.
Second tie of the basketball game. Kenny becomes what's the 9th Explorer to score early on. And another perimeter miss. Largest lead for LaSalle has only been a point, 26-25 about 4 minutes ago. Brick is trying to change that, but leaves it up there. Hall with the skip. Funk getting deep in on Moore, whose length altered that shot, and it'll stay at this end.
Second block from Moore. He gives LaSalle outstanding rim protection when he's in the game. That's such an important quality. Gets you stops, holds the other team's field goal percentage down, and makes them think about going inside.
Maybe perhaps some momentum for Ashley Howard and the Explorers going into the locker room. 6-0 run here in the last couple minutes. Daly trying to quell it, can't do it. And again, LaSalle another chance to get a lead back. Brick has got deep. Moore can hit that and does.
He hasn't made a lot of them this year, but going back to high school, Moore was known as a shooter. So the modern basketball, eliminate layups, protect the rim, and stretch the defense on the other end.
Hall, everything but the finish. Brickus on the gas pedal. And Clark. And 6 straight for LaSalle. Timeout for Billy Lang. Explorer bench is fired up, and for good reason.
So all threes are not the same. Catch and shoot rhythm teams, when you catch the ball as soon as you're open and on target in your shot pocket. Watch this perfect as well. There's 1 assist from Brickus. And again, on time and on target, no delay. As soon as your teammates open, you draw help, deliver the ball. But look at where the ball is delivered. Right in the chest, right in the numbers, so both Moore and Clark can get into their shooting motion easily. Pass to open people as soon as they're open. Don't hesitate. Make the pass on time and on target. Brick is showing why he's one of the better young point guards in the A10.
Back-to-back assists after opening up with what was 3 turnovers for Jameer Brickus.
And no shot attempts. Again, St. Joe's, in some cases to a fault, they gave up a lob to Moore, but they are really focusing on Brickus, and Brickus's persistence starting to pay off. There's the extra defender.
And Spencer getting dirty, going to the floor for that. Still loose, but Daly able to get it to Brown. Contact, offensive foul.
So that is a coaching tape, instructional tape on how to be tough. Ryan Daly on the ground. And then LaSalle coming through with the toughness, the charge. Some tough physical guys out there doing tough physical things. I love it. Spencer and Daly getting after it.
A minute left in regulation here at the Siegel Center, or of the opening half, I should say.
LaSalle's not going to have to try to get a 2-for-1. It's just going to work out that way.
And Clark with another really good look over the top of Hall. Trying to create the contact and does. Free throw line trip coming for Jordan Hall.
And I was wrong for this reason. Coach Lang's NBA background, St. Joe's, they normally play fast, but in that situation, by playing fast, they created a 2-for-1 for themselves. A normal tempo would have gotten LaSalle the 2-for-1 in that situation. But Coach Lang, I guarantee you that 2-for-1's a part of his strategy. Really, really smart.
67% free throw shooter is Jordan Hall. St. Joe's has opened up 6 for 6 from the line. Moore sits down. Demir Bishop back in.
For this
Billy Lang going offense, defense.
Yeah, for the small group of people who wouldn't know this, most people I'm sure do, but Coach Lang was an assistant with the 76ers for a long time, and you see not only a Villanova influence from his Villanova days, but also the NBA influence with things like 2-for-1s and floor spread on the fast break.
Well, we talked about this kind of being a difficult matchup for these two head coaches. Billy Lang, essentially the guy who recruited Ashley Howard to Jay Wright's staff when Howard was at Xavier with Chris Mack. So that was a big part of the reason. Obviously, they go way back. Ashley Howard said, you know, it would be nice, you know, you have a chance for both of these programs to advance in a first round or a second round before you have to face one another, but the draw is the draw.
Well, it's interesting. After, the Daly injury and St. Joe's was struggling and LaSalle beat them at Gola Arena. I'm close with both coaches. I coached Coach Lang and I coached with Coach Ashley Howard, and Coach Howard said, I just felt bad after the game. I mean, I know we won, but with St. Joe's injuries, he said, I just feel bad for Billy. So, you know, these guys are, today they want to beat the heck out of each other, just like Big Five coaches have throughout the year, but afterwards they're going to really respect each other and have that friendship.
10-second differential just about between shot and game clock, actually a little over 9. And Mark Gill matched up with Jordan Hall and gets the contact on the lean in. with only 7 on the shot clock.
And that is a terrific play selection by Coach Howard. Gill is a driver. He liked the matchup against Hall. He wanted to run clock. He had the right spacing. Nice isolation play for Gill. And isolating him at the top of the key means there's no help side. No one knows who's supposed to help because the ball's smack in the middle. When the ball's on one side, obviously the help comes from the opposite side. But that middle isolation for Gill, it's the right player, right location, right matchup.
Just about halfway through this one, Matt Martucci, the former LaSalle head coach, Dr. John Giannini. And 1 of 2 for Gill. LaSalle pretty much assured of a lead going into the break. Shot clock is off for Daly and St. Joe's. 8 first half points, but it's taken him 8 shots to get there. And foul on LaSalle. Explorers do have 1 more to give if they so choose. So now Hall's inbounds with just over 5 seconds left. Daly, one-on-one with Gill, got him up in the air, and well off target. And LaSalle, after an impressive run to close the first half, trailed by as many as 8. But they end up with a couple of big threes late in this half and lead by 5. Stats highlights, plenty more coming. The Atlantic 10 Tournament on ESPN+.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any better than crispy, juicy, and tender, we went and added spicy.
From stole all my info. Ooh. Have you looked on the bright side? Discover never holds you responsible for unauthorized purchases on your card. That's my turtle.
Fraud protection. Discover something brighter.
Are the color cartridges in your printer ready for another school year?
What's cyan mean?
It means cyan Mara honor roll.
The ink!
I'm so host.
Yeah, you are. The Epson EcoTank printer. No more cartridges. It comes with an incredible amount of ink that can save you a lot of trips to the store. Get ready for the Dean's List.
Who's Dean?
The Epson EcoTank. Just fill and chill. Available at...
Championship week all over the ESPN family of networks. And we're happy to be a small part of it here at the Atlantic 10 Tournament first round. LaSalle on top of St. Joe's, 39-34. Matt Martucci, Dr. John Giannini. Well, we talked about keys for both sides to start this broadcast. Keys for the second half as you see them, both the Explorers and the Hawks.
Well, St. Joe's can run, get out in transition, but they can't do that unless they get stopped. So we said in the opening that St. Joe's has to do a good job with post defense and rebounding, and frankly, they have not so far. So that's the challenge right there for St. Joe's. Offensively, St. Joe's has ways to get Brickus in mismatches against Daly and Hall. They haven't done that much. Maybe I look for them to go at Brickus a little bit and try to get Hall and Daly active with their size advantage. LaSalle, keep doing what you're doing. Make it a physical game, not a shooting contest.
A look at Ashley Howard and the Explorers. Part of game number 1 of what is 2 today, our 11-14 matchup, a rematch of a year ago. GW and Fordham. Jamie and Christian's Colonials. Mike DePauli's Fordham Rams. Of course, the interim head coach for Fordham. But a totally different GW roster in that one. And still one more half of basketball to go here. A reminder, a little interactive feature for each post-game press conference that will be streamed live on the Atlantic 10 Facebook page. Fans can ask questions during the post-game interview session, as simple as submitting a question in the Facebook comments on the post-game live broadcast. The league moderator will pick a couple of questions to ask both coaches and student athletes and use the hashtag A10 Virtual Press. That's A10 Virtual Press. St. Joe's basketball to start. Jordan Hall with a couple of turnovers and a couple personal fouls in that first half, but they set up Daly, who's into double figures, and gets the first bucket quickly.
I always love the first play after a halftime or first of the game or after a timeout to see what a coach comes up with. And again, that's the perfect isolation for the right matchup. Can't get Daly the ball enough, especially close to the basket.
Moore continuing to play good D on Brickus. Funk matched up one-on-one, physical battle with Kimbrough. Nice wheel and draws the contact.
LaSalle pounding the ball inside. Kimbrough drawing the foul. And St. Joe's has to continue to look for answers in terms of post defense. In their last game, they did a good job denying Kimbrough. The first play of the game, Funk denied Kimbrough, and LaSalle threw it out of bounds. So you can't let him catch it. And if you do catch it, you better give some help, because one-on-one, Kimbrough's going to win too many of those battles. So you either got to deny him or double him or help on him. But leaving him one-on-one, that's in LaSalle's favor.
One of two free throws for Kimbrough, just under 67% coming in. Today, they'll 1 for 3. Explorers by 4. Not even a minute into this second half. Winner gets the 5-seed UMass tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Shot clock cut in half for Hall. Funk flashed. Hall wants it himself, and an air ball off the dribble.
Exactly what LaSalle wants. They want to make Hall a scorer. You notice when Hall got the ball, no one helped. Everyone denied their man, tried to make Hall into a one-on-one player, and Spencer won the battle. Don't want Hall to start dropping those assists.
He and the freshman Brickus for LaSalle, a combined 2 for 8 today. Have not been themselves. Beatty using the screen and the rise up for his first 3 of the game.
Not an easy shot on the handoff, the 3 off the move, but Beatty, the veteran, I'm sure he's worked on that shot a lot, making it here in the conference tournament.
5 now for Beatty. First time we've heard from him since the early part of the first half. Hall, there he is on cue, coming off the screen.
Hall's talented. We talked about his unbelievable passing at 6'7" as a point guard, but he can shoot the ball too. But LaSalle's willing to pick their poison. They're willing to give up some of those Hall threes to contain Funk and Daly.
30th 3 of the year for Jordan Hall, who came in just under 35%. Brickus with the speed advantage now on Funk. Down to 10, he carried it, says Jamie Lucky.
Good job, Funk, keeping Brickus in front of him. That's the second carry in this game for Brickus. That's something he needs to work with on his skill work, just making sure he doesn't palm that ball.
His 4th turnover, has half of them for LaSalle. Daly with the attack, but couldn't finish on Kimbrough. Christian Ray into the game for LaSalle. Spencer and Beatty, Ray, Kimbrough, and Brickus for Ashley Howard's Explorers. That ended up trickling off of Ryan Daly's shin, trying to negotiate with Jamie Lucky, who's explaining it to Billy Lang and the St. Joe's bench.
See if LaSalle keeps going inside over here. Looks like they're trying to get Brickus going. Nope, throw back, throw in. Still trying to get it into Kimbrough.
Shot clock down to 7 for Beatty. That's not the area where Kimbrough wants the ball. And Brickus, that's another turnover. Moore forced him into a travel.
St. Joe's, a couple good defensive possessions, but LaSalle getting away for a minute or so there from pounding it inside like they did at the start of the half.
Hall and Ray, who played against each other at Newman Goretti in the Haverford School. Backdoor bounce. Funk taking the contact, blocking foul, +1.
Looks like Ray might have had his heels on the charge circle. And as I mentioned earlier, Taylor Funk, so much more than a shooter right now. There's the hard cut and there's the heels on the charge circle. Had to have his heels outside of that circle. But Funk is so much more mobile with the improved conditioning. Cutting, rebounding, running the floor.
Kimbrough and Beatty having trouble corralling that. LaSalle is led by as many as 7. St. Joe's by as many as 8. 1 possession game, though, here early second half. What else would you expect in the rubber match of this season matchup? Third time these two have met. LaSalle by 7 on Martin Luther King Day. St. Joe's by 9 11 days ago. Beatty around the screen in the elbow J.
Beatty is shooting the ball well. He had a big senior day against Duquesne with 22 points, and his confidence is rolling right now.
Up fake for Funk and got too deep and picked up the pivot foot. Yeah, going back to Beatty, one of those guys who came home, started his collegiate career at South Carolina, said that, he wasn't necessarily ready for the type of discipline and what Frank Martin provided.
Well, I'm not sure it was discipline. I just think it was a comfort level. And you know what's funny? We recruited Beatty, and there's, again, Spencer, you can't leave him alone. Just arguably the best shooter in the Atlantic 10 by percentage on threes. But Beatty, if there's such a thing as a LaSalle Philly guy, it's Dave Beatty. When he committed to South Carolina, said, I don't know when, but he's going to end up playing at LaSalle. And not that I didn't think he couldn't do well at South Carolina. I just knew he was comfortable in the city and at LaSalle.
Cam Brown drawing the contact. Will go to the free throw line when we return. LaSalle, its largest lead of the afternoon. Explorers by 7 here on the Atlantic 10 first round on ESPN+.
Be sure to visit
a tiny word with so much power. At St. Joseph's University, we are a community built on and. We're up for anything. Looking for new boundaries to test, new majors and programs to combine, new careers to start, and to be ready for an ever-changing future, so that we succeed again and again.
on the way and good.
We are St. Joseph's University. Discover your and at SJU.edu.
This is more than a game. This is athletic excellence meets academic discipline. With every second on the court, bodies are moving and minds are working, solving problems, setting records, developing skills for basketball and beyond. This is dedication. This is strength. This is the Atlantic 10.
St. Joe's going under the screen right here, trying to stop Beatty from driving. So Beatty says, I'll take the three. Thank you very much. You got to take what the defense gives you. Here's another example, going under the screen on Beatty, trying to stop the drive, and Beatty countering with the jump shot. His confidence, as we said, has been rolling the last couple weeks of the season over here, and those shots give LaSalle a little bit of a cushion, but you got to pick your poison sometimes defensively. It's hard to guard everything, and if you stop Beatty from driving, you know, he can make that shot. He hasn't done it consistently all year, but he's doing it consistently right now.
His 7 points match this 7-point LaSalle lead. 5 of them coming here in the second half. Matt Martucci, Dr. John Giannini, game number 1 of what's 2. GW and Fordham still to come. Cameron Brown, 71% shooter on the year. Had an early 3 for St. Joe's, but his first point since.
Really like these LaSalle rotations. I love the energy and versatility of Kimbrough and Ray inside, and then you bring Moore in for a little bit of shot blocking. Moore blocked 2 shots in that first half, so I like the rotations and substitutions a lot for LaSalle.
Yeah, defensive glass has been a big deal for the Explorers today. Limited St. Joe's to a lot of one-and-dones. Kimbrough does that just here on this offensive possession.
And they're letting Funk guard him one-on-one, and that time Funk wins it. Again, they're not doubling, not helping. They're trying to stay with LaSalle shooters. They probably think we'll shut down the threes, but we'll give up a few twos by Kimbrough. There's Kimbrough helping out on the mismatch with Hall against Brickus.
Good recognition. Daly got his basketball stripped out of bounds. Last touch by LaSalle, they'll say.
Yeah, I really think St. Joe should go to those mismatches more, trying to get Daly. And although Daly's holding that hand that he hurt, that's not a good sign at all.
And actually, I think it's the opposite one.
Yeah, it's the right hand.
It's the shooting hand.
They don't come tougher than Ryan Daly, but you don't like to see him.
Tim Comer just asked him, you okay?
But yeah, St. Joe's has not been able to go after Brickus with their bigger guards in this game.
Hall just getting it to Daly. And Spencer leaning in on him and called for the foul. It should be the third team foul on LaSalle this half.
That's his first personal. Team foul number 3 on the Explorers.
That last play, again, Kimbrough, smart play. He saw the Hall versus Brickus matchup and gave a little bit of a double team and helped Brickus out of a tough spot.
Daly with the up and under. And brings this to within a possession again. Game high 12 for Ryan Daly, but LaSalle will take the trade-off. It's taken him 11 shots to get there. Still the three-point Explorer lead. Brickus trying to double it up, and the over-the-back foul on Kimbrough. Fourth LaSalle team foul. But only the first one of the Explorers big. Demir Bishop back in for St. Joe's. And we said sense of urgency high for both of these Explorers and the Hawks. You always wonder about first rounds when life is kind of in a 24-hour vacuum. You're living team meal to team meal, possession to possession. But motivation not a problem today for either one.
Same play they opened the half with, right to Daly, but he's going to get extra help here. There's the help.
Got the face up. Beatty doing a good job with the help. Brown off the step back and couldn't get the friendly bounce. Rebound for Beatty. Brickus having to chase that into the backcourt after it got deflected. Beatty, Gill having a tough time with the handle. Got deep on the baseline. Somehow they're able to reset. Kimbrough, good body on Funk, but got the pocket picked. Daly looking to push. The extra pass for Brown. On the attack, got bodied by Gill. Score it, plus the foul.
It's a terrific exchange by St. Joe's. First, they crowded, doubled Kimbrough in the post, gave him no room to operate, didn't really double him. And then the drive over here by Brown, just being physical, strong guard, absorbs the contact and finishes. And St. Joe's has a chance to tie. It's everything we hoped for, Matt. We thought this was going to be a evenly matched, hard-fought game.
Yeah, long conversation about that on our 4-hour drive down here last night. Now Brown can't get the third tie of the basketball game. Sharif Kenny, Jack Clark back in for LaSalle, as is Clifton Moore. First action of the second half for the Hatboro Horsham grad just outside Philadelphia. And Demir Bishop commits the foul here.
Salle does a very good job using Gill as a driver. That time, that's called a hold play. They throw the ball to the wing where Gill is, and he holds the ball while other people are moving. But while they're moving, it's really an isolation play for Gill. They put him in driving situations, which he excels at. Thought they were going to throw it. He kind of missed more inside that time.
Brickus got the step, and again on an 0 for today. Now his third miss. It's a tough start to his first Atlantic 10 tournament. Bishop got the friendly bounce at St. Joe's with its first lead since 3 minutes left in the first half when it was 32-30.
That's that dribble post that Coach Lang helped Villanova use so well. Drive, jump stop, and go into a post move. Bishop did it terrifically.
Having a good day off the bench. 7 coming off the pine. Kenny in on Cameron Brown. Shot clock down to 5. Good flash by Clark. Can't convert. Daly on the accelerator. Drew the double team, got deep, but nobody home.
Great defense by Gill. Hard to cut off Ryan Daly. And he did it without as much help as I expected.
Brown wanted the step back, the length of Moore altering that decision. Daly off the dribble, tried to snipe that one, deep rebound, and Clark creating numbers for himself into Daly, layup, +1.
That's a big bucket. Jack Clark, 6'8", can finish, can shoot. High ceiling for Jack Clark. And look at the long rebound. Coach Howard felt like the long rebounds off of St. Joe's 3 could get the fast break of LaSalle going, almost like an outlet pass, and they did it perfectly. The teaching point Coach Howard talked about, when St. Joe's shoots a 3, don't run into the rim, because a lot of those rebounds are going to be long. Check your man off and stay on the perimeter, get ready for the long rebound, and it's almost like an outlet pass for the fast break.
Well, Jack Clark, the young man who's overcome some adversity, missed his entire senior year of high school because of a left knee injury at Cheltenham.
So Jack comes from a wonderful family, and you know, the injuries he's had have been something that very few players go through. I recruited him out of high school, and it's just so happy to see him healthy, and the sky's the limit.
Hall with a one and done. Moore actually had Clark streaking up the floor if he wanted him, but didn't see him. Kenny drew in the double. Moore has one, wanted a second. Instead, Hall with what's his 5th rebound. Daly on the attack, took a tumble, and no whistle.
Coach Lang won't like that, no whistle.
Spencer at the other end. And Explorers have opened up 2 of 6 from the perimeter here in the second half.
St. Joe's is fortunate. Spencer doesn't miss many of those, but it was a 5-on-4 with the contact under the basket. Not everyone is back for St. Joe's.
Back and forth we go. Ties and lead changes. Funk drawing contact here. We've been even twice. We've had 5 different lead changes. Taylor Funk to the free throw line. When we return, it's LaSalle by 2 on the Atlantic 10 Tournament first round, and it's on ESPN.
When we say crispy, juicy, tender, this is the juicy and tender, and this is the crispy. Introducing McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwiches. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day.
Objection! My credit card doesn't earn double miles on every purchase.
Overruled. With the Venture Card, it's every purchase. What's in your wallet?
It's time for some straight talk. You've heard the old saying, less is more. Sorry, we don't buy it. Why can't more be less? More power, more speed, more money in your pocket. It is with iPhone SE and Straight Talk Wireless. The fully loaded iPhone SE is now at our lowest price ever, just $149. All on the best networks. It's something more to get excited about. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise.
Shareholders are very happy.
This is star power from the jump.
This is the best of the bad gooders this year.
This is Jim.
He's working from home while keeping an eye on the kids, and he still had time to start his own bracket group. What's your excuse? Sign up at espn.com/bracket and start your group.
Just over 11 minutes left of the second half here at the Siegel Center. 2-point LaSalle lead. Winner of this first round matchup trying to get to tomorrow and the 5-seed UMass. Matt McCall's Minutemen and the talented big Trey Mitchell. Matt Martucci, John Giannini here. In a game that we said has lived up to its billing. Taylor Funk set to head to the free throw line. But exactly what you want 3 days into March. Even if you're just a basketball fan, an Atlantic 10 fan, not a Philly basketball fan.
No, this is good basketball, hard-fought, competitive game, good strategies, good players on each side. That last play here where Funk got fouled was a pick-and-roll situation. I'd like to see Funk more involved, either receiving screens, they have down screens for him, they have stagger screens, or setting screens. You know, Daly and Funk playing together in two-man games, you can't go wrong with that.
Gill with a good hop. Set up an opportunity maybe for Clark off the dribble. Foul line Jay.
Man, that's a skilled play. That 6'8" shot fake, and Clark shows the ability to not only have soft touch but shoot over people.
Becomes LaSalle's second double-figure scorer. Give Jack Clark 10. The flash for Funk. Got his feet under him.
And that would have been a layup if Cliff Moore wasn't in the game. Cliff Moore deterred that shot off the drive. Again, things that don't show up in the stat sheet.
LaSalle the lead to break the third tie of the game. Gill, good hop, everything but the finish, but Moore is there over the top.
Post play has become a strength of LaSalle with Kimbrough, Ray, and the luxury of bringing Cliff Moore off the bench. Are you kidding me? A shot blocker, finisher. Terrific interior rotation right now for LaSalle.
Big time balance for the Explorers this afternoon. 6 players with at least 6 or more. Daly leaning in, 14 for him to bring this back to 2.
I don't understand how LaSalle's not running an extra defender at Ryan Daly. It's part of their plan, and if they don't execute it, Daly can put a lot of points up really fast. As strong as they come from the guard position. Literally can't. I can't think of a stronger guard in college basketball.
14 points for Ryan Daly is a game high. Moore got caught up deep and threw it away to Brown. Chance to tie or take the lead. Moore attacking. That's Ramir Moore for St. Joe's. Kenny out of the pack. And a foul on the floor on Cameron Brown to slow down Spencer. I don't know, G. What do you have? First one to 80 wins here? Or are we getting further than that?
I think 80 is a good number. It doesn't look like a 90s unless we go into overtime, which is possible.
Clark, tough angle and stayed with the play. Going to the floor for it. Look at that.
Love the effort.
Moore gets a look. Can't cash in, and Clark still battling. Foul on Ramir Moore.
So not only does Clark get the loose ball, he gets them a third possession by crashing the boards again and using his size and athleticism. He gets pushed under the basket. So there's the nice slip in there. And then Clark gets after it on the floor, gets his team a second shot, and then ends up being a third shot because he's pushed under the basket as he attacks the offensive rebound.
Kenny got a good look, couldn't cash in on the designed inbounds.
Nice job on Spencer, right on Funk as he catches it. Look at Spencer chasing Funk around, knowing he can't give him room.
Bishop, and again, it's Moore's length. That's just too tough a shot.
The rim protection of Moore. Everyone's doing their job. Everyone's bringing an ingredient to the meal, and it's a good ingredient. A little bit of shot blocking from Moore, some post-ups by Kimbrough, some rebounding by Ray, and those are the ingredients that LaSalle wants.
16 and a half minutes worth of lead today for St. Joe's, 12 and a half for LaSalle as Gill, the whirling dervish on the baseline, but called for steps.
but LaSalle cannot be inconsistent with their defensive attention on Ryan Daly, because Ryan Daly can win the game for St. Joe's and be a big part of it. You got to devote extra defensive attention to him.
There's Daly, got it deep up into Moore, couldn't finish.
Moore, again, is a deterrent consistently in this game.
Kenny once one-on-one with Bishop. LaSalle on a 2-minute scoring drought. St. Joe's one of its last 8. Moore drawing it in. Clark, great look from the baseline. But Funk able to grab the rebound. Daly looks to push.
Really surprised Daly didn't attack on that.
Brown does just that. Tie basketball game for the 4th time.
Well, that's a total breakdown. Heck of a play by Brown, but no defense should allow a straight line drive in a half-court situation.
55 apiece with just over 7 minutes left. Everything you'd expect between a couple of Philly schools who want to play in the second round. Hawks and Explorers tied at 55 here on the Atlantic 10 Tournament first round on ESPN+.
In the Atlantic 10, she can compete. She can win. She can lead. And she can succeed. In the Atlantic 10, she can do it all.
It's a calling that's kept us free. It's a place to belong. What's the calling? It's doing a job that makes a difference. Serving your community and your country. It's part-time service where the impact is full-time. What's your calling? Air Force Reserve.
And a tiny word with so much power. At St. Joseph's University, we are a community built on and. We're up for anything. Looking for new boundaries to test, new majors and programs to combine, new careers to start, and to be ready for an ever-changing future, so that we succeed again and again.
On the way and good.
We are St. Joseph's University. Discover your and at SJU.edu.
This is more than a game. This is athletic excellence meets academic discipline. With every second on the court, bodies are moving and minds are working, solving problems, setting records, developing skills for basketball and beyond. This is dedication. This is strength. This is the Atlantic 10.
The score is tied right now because of this Cam Brown dunk. No one picks him up, poor communication, and Brown takes advantage with a steamrolling dunk.
9 now for Cameron Brown, 55 all. We're tied for the 4th time here in the Atlantic 10 first round.
Yeah, that's like an October practice mistake there. Literally in transition, you had 2 LaSalle players guarding the same person and Brown unguarded, and that's too easy in this tight of a game.
I'm not sure if David Beatty tweets something there, but you worry about getting healthy when the offseason, I guess, comes. As Ray leaves this on the back of the rim, but the offensive rebound. And Beatty looking okay there.
Well, Beatty's made tough shots against good defense. St. Joe's has followed the scouting report against Beatty, stop him from driving and force him into contested jump shots.
Daly trying to get the lead for St. Joe's. Hall couldn't grab the rebound. Gill leaking out. And Daly with a great block out of bounds.
Daly catches the ball. So one of the reasons I think Ryan Daly was grossly under-recruited, because this is a player who has a professional career, could play anywhere, any conference in the country. People didn't realize how athletic he is. I mean, he runs, he jumps, you could see he's strong, but people grossly underestimated his athleticism and skill.
Kenny right up into Funk, couldn't finish. Ray got the rebound batted out by Brown. Brown separating it again. It's the length. That time it's Clark. And Daly commits what I would think Billy Lang and his staff would say is a smart foul.
Daly's a wonderful combination of toughness and high basketball IQ. And he's fouled a 50-something% free throw shooter. Let's see how Ray comes through here.
And Kant misses the front end. After what was the 7th team foul for St. Joe's, LaSalle has committed 6. Daly, one and Gill. In on him with the wheel, got him up in the air, and the finish at the front of the rim, tied again for the 5th time.
He's a monster. I mean, LaSalle has to send a second defender. And remember, when he gets in the post, he's pivoting, faking, can't go for those fakes. You know it's coming. He's great at it.
Kenny got the lean in, couldn't get the bounce. Last lead for St. Joe's was at the 13-minute mark. A chance to take one again here.
I think Scott's there. Comes Scott Spencer. Yep, that's what you got to do against Ryan Daly.
Ray jumped the passing lane. Bishop. And knocked it off of Beatty, I guess.
I would think they'll double Daly every time right now. Daly is just too good of a one-on-one player, too strong. If he doesn't score, there's a good chance he'll get fouled. We'll see if they keep giving Daly extra attention.
Hall attacking and nearly got that to go. And he'll go to the free throw line for what's a pair after the bump from Sharif Kenny.
I'm surprised we haven't seen more of that, because when Daly or Funk set a screen, there's often a lot of confusion. Do I help? Do I leave Daly or Funk? Do we switch it? I think anytime Daly or Funk sets a screen, that's a good thing for St. Joe's. Yeah, and the confusion right there of LaSalle not switching, not wanting to the defender on Daly, not wanting to leave him for good reason. Well, that Daly screen, then it's almost like an assist. His screen gets Hall to the basket because no one wants to help off of Ryan Daly or Funk.
Jordan Hall to the free throw line. Chance to break this tie and what would be a 6th lead change. And there it is. 11 for Hall today in his first Atlantic 10 tournament game, to go with 5 rebounds and a couple of assists. He's won the freshman battle. Jameer Brickus is still scoreless. 5 turnovers this afternoon. Hall's second one.
But you know what I like? Brickus, he hasn't taken a bad shot. Some players of his accomplishment will get itchy, I haven't scored, and force a shot. He hasn't done that. Love his poise.
Again, chance for the Explorers. Tie or take the lead. Ray, nice recognition. Beatty, the extra pass, and Clark, great look. Brown down with the rebound. Inside 5 minutes to go, second half. Matt Martucci, the former LaSalle head coach, Dr. John Giannini, opening up the Atlantic 10 Tournament 2021 edition.
Beatty denying Daly, not letting him get it.
Now Daly able to do it. Down to 9. Crafty with the basketball, but draws in a double. Brown bounced out of it. Hall got it up on the rim, and Kimbrough knocked that out of bounds. Last touch by LaSalle.
Brickus double teamed at the perfect time. Kimbrough couldn't double team because he was guarding Funk. If Daly and Funk are on the same side, that's a great combination for St. Joe's, because then it's going to be hard to help or double on Daly.
Somebody missed Funk, got around Clark, and got the body control, but Ray stepping up ends up altering the shot.
And you'd rather have Funk drive than shoot a 3. Good scouting report D by Clark.
Brickus, they go inside out. Kimbrough, this is a good matchup for him. Daly with the help D, Ray with the cut, but Funk got the strip.
Perfectly timed double team by Daly. Perfectly timed cut by Kenny. I'm sorry, by Christian Ray. Just couldn't convert it.
Hall off the bounce. The attack. And going to the free throw line, foul on the Explorers.
Second time a Ryan Daly screen gets Hall to the basket.
2-point basketball game here in Richmond. Jordan Hall to the free throw line when we return.
When we say crispy, juicy, tender, this is the juicy and tender. And this is the crispy. Introducing McDonald's new crispy chicken sandwiches. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
This is a color laser printer, and this is the color toner cartridge. They're so expensive, people just print in black and white so they don't have to keep buying them. Walk with me. That's enough. The Epson EcoTank cartridge-free printer. Big ink tanks, lots of ink, and you can save a ridiculous amount on replacement ink. Print in color, all you want, without busting your budget, but you might be busting the move. The Epson EcoTank, just fill and chill. Available at...
I think the sketchy website I bought this turtle from stole all my info. Ooh. Have you looked on the bright side? Discover never holds you responsible for unauthorized purchases on your card. That's my turtle.
Fraud protection. Discover something brighter.
It's St. Joe's by 2 after a foul on LaSalle's Jared Kimbrough. Jordan Hall will head to the free throw line for Billy Lang and the Hawks, who only ended up playing 2 games in the month of February, thanks to a COVID pause. If you can find a program that hasn't been affected across Division I, play the lottery.
No, it's been a frustrating year in that sense, but LaSalle in that timeout desperately needs to figure out how to guard ball screens when Ryan Daly sets the ball screen. He's gotten Hall 4 free throws, and the only solution for LaSalle is to switch that ball screen, make Hall try to score, and deny Daly and not let him get it back. But what's happening is they're not switching, they're not helping off of Daly. So when Daly sets that screen for Hall, now his defender can't recover quickly enough, and he's getting to the rim. So how is LaSalle gonna guard Daly as a streamer?
14 for Hall, who's had a tough shooting day. But St. Joe's back in front by 4. Largest lead for the Hawks has been 8. Explorers have led by as many as 7, but are on an over 3-minute scoring drought.
Boy, they're still denying Brickus. Tremendous respect for Brickus.
Nice wheel for Gill. Trying to quell it. Kimbrough couldn't come up with the rebound. Hall off of the dribble.
Yep, now they got to switch that, and they do it. They do it perfectly that time. Now you better help out on the best scorer in the A10.
Daly backing it down, got the separation, but Kenny with enough D.
That fadeaway is tremendous, but a little long that time.
Inside 3 minutes left. In what's been a back and forth first round matchup.
Someone needs to cut. They're standing too much.
Kimbrough nearly got it to go. Free throw line trip coming for him.
So the reason they have to move when Kimbrough gets the ball is if they stand, the person guarding any LaSalle player can start to shade towards the lane, and what that does is it crowds Kimbrough. It takes away his space to operate. Where you move when the ball's in the post, now your man can't crowd the lane. You have to follow the person you're guarding.
In and out for Kimbrough. Tough shooting day in the free throw line for the Explorers, who are now 5 of 11 as a team. Kimbrough 2 of 5 himself. And makes it a one-possession game.
That's a pretty good bounce on that one by Kimbrough. I wasn't sure that one was going in, but he got the friendly bounce.
Near double-double numbers for him today. 9.7 rebounds. Down to a 2.5-minute game. Daly getting the separation and a foul on Gill.
Remember, the key to that play, Daly drives right, but Funk is on the right wing, so Kimbrough doesn't want to leave Funk. It's not only about spacing, but it's who you put where. If that's a non-shooter on that right wing, now you have two people on Daly, but they're putting LaSalle in situations where they got to pick their poison.
And Daly, legs not quite under him on the free throw. Only the third St. Joe's miss. 15 of 18 are the Hawks, but gets this one back to a 4-point game. Jameer Brickus and Anwar Gill, Kimbrough, Sharif Kenny, and Scott Spencer for LaSalle. Cam Brown, Jordan Hall, Taylor Funk, Ryan Daly, and Demir Bishop for the Hawks. Spencer in and out. And rebound for Jordan Hall.
They called Spencer's number on that. That was a designed isolation.
Creeping toward 2 minutes left. Again, winner gets the 5-seed UMass. Trey Mitchell, TJ Weeks and company.
Now they won't help. They'll make Hall try to score.
And got the contact, maybe a late whistle from Tim Comer. And Jordan Hall headed to the free throw line.
So the nice thing about a 6'7" point guard is they're going to get fouled some. They're big, they're strong, they could go to the line, and Hall is an incredible building block for Coach Lang's program moving forward. They have something that pretty much no one has, a point guard with that size who's an outstanding passer, can get to the line, can shoot the ball. Obviously going to be a gigantic part of St. Joe's basketball future.
Well, for everything Jordan Hall hasn't been from a shooting the ball from the field standpoint, he's a perfect 8 of 8 now from the free throw line. He and Daly and Funk have combined for 44 of the 63 for St. Joe's, every one of them in double figures. 16 for Hall and 9 of 9 in his first Atlantic 10 tournament game from the foul line. Brickus, strive, rise, picked a good time for his first field goal. 4-point game.
Big time play. And what he does great is change pace.
And Jamie Luckey apparently wanted to clarify something at the table. Hall with just 90 seconds left in the basketball game. LaSalle needs a stop. Christian Ray on Ryan Daly.
Force him left and bring the help from Clark. Here comes Clark. Clark's got to help out on this.
Daly with the shot clock at 5 and drills it.
Big time is all you could say about that.
The legend of the late season return continues for Ryan Daly. 20 now on the basketball game. Brickus again attacking. 2-possession game again. 4 quick points for Jameer Brickus here in the last minute.
I like LaSalle double teaming. I like them going for a steal, and even that foul. Extend the game a little bit right now. Some teams in that situation would let time run off. They got the double team, didn't get the steal, got the foul. I like extending the game. And here's the play. I mean, off the dribble, hand in the face, has enough room to get it off, and that's just a super skilled play, but also a confident, competitive play.
We said coming in, Ryan Daly's career numbers against LaSalle, 25 points a contest, 58% career shooting from the field.
You know, the A10 was robbed of not watching Ryan Daly this whole season.
And Funk gets the tap. And forced to foul again. Double bonus the rest of the way. And Hall back to the free throw line.
And I love Funk's energy. Man, is he fired up. St. Joe's has a really good combination of guys who have been around and invested, like Funk and Daly, together with this whole new cast.
in and out, so the perfect free throw line day ends for Jordan Hall. Clifton Moore back in. Beatty will sit down. And 1 of 2 for Hall. Down to 45 seconds. Brickus again at the rim.
And Brickus keeping LaSalle in this late.
Hall caught up and has to spend a timeout. As St. Joe's thinking about a closeout. LaSalle trying to pull it off. 5-point game with 33 to play.
With Infinity Now, your test drive comes to you. So you can try one car one day and another the next. Because when you find the kind of luxury that fits you, you'll know. Experience luxury on your terms when you purchase or lease a new Infinity online with Infinity Now.
Do you taste that mesquite butter? And add all the fixings: bacon, lettuce, grilled onions,
pickles,
with the barbecue sauce?
Sonic Mesquite Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
That's what I'm talking about.
Magenta. I hate cartridges. Not magenta, not magenta. I'm not going back to the store. Magenta! Cartridges are so...
The Epson Eco Tank. No more cartridges. It comes with an incredible amount of ink that can save you a lot of frustration. The Epson Eco Tank.
Just fill and chill. Available at...
I think the sketchy website I bought this turtle from stole all my info. Ooh. Have you looked on the bright side? Discover never holds you responsible for unauthorized purchases on your card. That's my turtle.
Fraud protection. Discover something brighter.
Verizon believes everyone deserves the best. That's why we start with 5G from America's most reliable network.
Verizon 5G is next level.
Then give families plans to mix and match, so you only pay for what you need starting at $35.
You get so much more than this is a great network.
And offer the best in entertainment on select unlimited plans, like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, as well as Discovery Plus, with a Galaxy S21 plus 5G when you buy one. There's no reason to settle for less than the best. Only from Verizon.
St. Joe's by 5. Try to get to the second round against UMass tomorrow afternoon. A reminder, each post-game press conference streamed live on the Atlantic 10 Facebook page. Fans able to ask questions during the post-game interview session. As simple as submitting a question in the Facebook comments on the post-game live broadcast. The moderator will pick a couple of questions to ask coaches and student athletes. Use the hashtag with your question, A10 Virtual Press. 33 seconds up on the clock. St. Joe's down to 2 timeouts after that last one. Hall hitting Bishop. And they'll send him to the free throw line.
It's really well designed, putting everyone in the backcourt, which opens up those long passes. LaSalle did a good job putting 2 people on Daly. Good defensive and offensive execution.
Bishop's had a pretty good day off the bench. 8 points, perfect from the foul line. Billy Lang has to be happy with what his team has been able to do from the charity stripe. 21 of 26 on the game. But Bishop with a miss here.
Still a 2-possession game, and Brickus will create a quick shot.
And Kenny able to oblige, but the quick miss. And Funk down with the rebound. Shot clock is off. Bishop will go back to the line. Sharif Kenny is now fouled out of the basketball game. Now playing inside of 2 hours from home. Tough afternoon for Kenny. He's a Washington, D.C. native. Only 2 points in 23 minutes today. And Bishop continues to leave this at a 2-possession game.
Next free throw is obviously huge. A lot of things would have to go right for LaSalle, but this free throw will determine if it stays at 2 possessions. LaSalle still alive.
Bishop missed them both. Final 15 seconds. Brickus got to the basket, couldn't get the layup. Clark fouled with 8 seconds left. 8.6 to be exact. It's the front end of a 1-and-1 coming for Jack Clark.
Yeah, the clock might just be running out on LaSalle here. They're playing their hearts out to the very end and trying to make a run here, but they might just be running out of time.
One more substitution perhaps for Billy Lang. More in for Cameron Brown. This is the first of what's 2 first-round games, top of the bracket. As the winner of this one will get UMass tomorrow. Have to deal with Trey Mitchell, surefire all-league selection, and can hit it from the perimeter, can go inside, pretty much has all the tricks in his bag. Richmond slipping to the 8th seed after that loss to St. Joe's. Winner of that Duquesne-Richmond matchup gets the top seed Bonaventure on what is Friday. And then St. Louis, again, that other double bye at the top of the bracket.
You talk about the depth of the A10. How about the reward of getting the #1 seed is playing a prior top 25 team in your first game? I mean, with 3 all-conference players.
And 3,000-point scorers, no less.
Yeah, potentially. And Duquesne, very good as well. Both top 5 picks in the A10 going into the league.
GW at Fordham still to come. Winner of that game gets George Mason. And don't count out Dayton at the top of that bracket after a win over the top seed St. Bonaventure the other day. And of course Davidson and the instant offense of the Bob McKillop coached Wildcats.
And don't count out, I mean, St. Joe's is about to go 4-0 with Ryan Daly back. And because of their pauses and Daly's absence, every game is a learning experience for them. They are literally peaking at the right time.
Clark swishes this free throw.
The other thing, we saw Jack Forrest, a double-figure scorer who had scored 25 against LaSalle last time warming up, and he looked awfully good. I wouldn't be surprised to see Jack Forrest play in this tournament.
Clark gets both, 4-point game. Timeout for Ashley Howard. I'll stick around for our second game, 2 o'clock tip-off. The 11th seed GW, the 14 Fordham. Rematch of last year's first round, although a lot different in terms of the GW roster. Only 2 players from that team remain. Fordham, of course, parting ways with Jeff Neubauer in late January. Mike DePauli is the interim head coach and, hoping to do his best to potentially lead the Rams to a victory.
So right now, LaSalle has to steal the inbounds pass. If they don't steal the inbound pass, they have to foul immediately. No time for a trap. Got to steal the inbounds. They're guarding everyone. Christian Ray's a center fielder in case they try to go long. Yeah, got to foul.
And Daly is going to the line with inside 7 seconds left. Now, you talked about the Ryan Daly effect at the top of our broadcast. Just the balance and his ability to even be a decoy and get his teammates looks.
Absolutely. Him as a screener is a quandary for defenses.
22 on the afternoon, his 5th made free throw. Clifton Moore back in. Christian Ray will sit down. You wondered if a two-day turnaround coming off of Monday would affect St. Joe's. It has not.
It's a great point. You think about fatigue, but right now, every game for them, as I said, an opportunity to get better.
Beatty with the miss. And in a week of firsts for Billy Lang and the St. Joseph's Hawks, they add another one. 2 days after their first conference road win under Lang, they end up getting their first Atlantic 10 tournament victory. And what's a fourth straight?